Hello everyone, this is Mad Lumi, and this year I'm trying a new format as opposed to the streaming I've been doing, and I'm going for a podcast type of format. Uh, let's see how it turns out. What will be this podcast about? Well, we're going to be talking about Humble Monthly, and more specifically about the latest one from January 2016 that came out 2 days ago. So, for those of you who don't know what Humble Monthly is, I'm going to do a separate podcast with a friend of mine, and we're going to talk it all over what it is, a little bit also of the economics behind it, but I'll post a link when it'll be done also in this video. But right now, we're going to dive straight into what this particular Humble Monthly bundle has to offer. And straight, if we look at the different prices, we are today on the last day of the sales. Well, a little bit more than last day, a day and a half, let's say. And so, if you would go and buy all the 6 games from the sale, what would be the cost that you would pay, at least in euros? That's what I have. I'm from Europe. You would pay, and there's a slight hitch regarding the Talos Principle, because depending on where you live, you will have a different price. For me, you can see that the maximum price here is 39.99. It's now minus 75%. I would pay 10 euros basically. But if I would be living in, let's say, Portugal or Spain or Italy, one of those more, well, less earning countries, I'd say, then the Talos Principle is curiously half price there as a base price. So the total is it's 19.99, and minus the 75%, of course, would be even cheaper. So it ends up that right now in the Steam sales you would pay 2 different prices depending on where you would live, but the top value would be 38.19 and 33.19 if you would be living in one of said countries. So for the $12, depending on the exchange rate, it's approximately between 10 and 11 euros. So you save between 17 and 12 euro. No, 27. No, 17 and 12 euros. I was getting my math all wrong here, but yeah. So it's reasonable because it's the sales. But let's assume you wouldn't buy these during a sale, and you would want to get them individually after the 4th of January. In a high earning country, due to the different pricing of the Talos Principle, you would pay 117.94 euros. It's a lot of money that you only get for $12, by getting the Humble Monthly. And if you would live in one of those lower wages countries, it would be 97.94. So a significant difference of 20 euros nonetheless. So in any case, be it in sales or not, you are gaining some money. But now, are you getting something out of it? So the first game is the Talos Principle, and it is bloody good. As you can see, it has overwhelmingly positive. 96% of 5,805 reviews are positive. I mean, there are a buttload of reviews for this one. It's just many people. I don't know how many people actually own the game, but it is, in my humble opinion, the best first-person puzzle game to have come out after the Portal series. I mean, we all know from Valve Portal 1, Portal 2, they are great, especially Portal 2 is just such a humor in it. But here with Crow Team, they did spectacular work. I mean, I love the environments. There are 4 to 5 different environments. They are all beautiful in their own way. There is a thematic around body and mind and what it is to be human or not, the definition of it. And the puzzles are challenging more than in a Portal, because in a Portal they take you by the hand, and except if you are a speed runner and trying to go out of bounds, you're pretty much chained to the different locations and of the puzzle rooms. You can see there's a lot of good notes by the critique, and the game is beautiful. You play as a little robot. I I love this one, the snowy area. It's very small, but it's just brilliant. I had the game already. If you haven't noticed by now, I had it before I got it on the bundle. I could pass it along to my brother, but I didn't even feel like I was giving any leftovers. You know, I I was just I don't know, giving a gift. Actually, this is valuable to me. This is a game I loved. I played the DLC. I downloaded it. Uh, there is only one which is worth it, which is the Road to Gehenna. Which, if you now got the bundle, you should, after playing this game, get it. I mean, this is only going to be on sale for X more time, and it's €5, and it's about, yeah, let's say 6 hours of worth of extra puzzles that are even more challenging than the base game. The base game is quite challenging, as I was saying before, because unlike Valve's Portals, you are forced sometimes, or you can even make your puzzles easier by taking elements from other sections. So basically you have a big area, and each area is subdivided in different locations, and those locations are where each puzzle room, if you wish, and it will be needed to take elements from other puzzles to solve the ones you're currently in. And then you also have secrets like stars that you need to find out, and those are not just cosmetics, which I love. It's the fact that you actually gather enough of those stars, and then you unlock harder, more challenging levels, and even potentially at the end alternative ending, because there are a few endings to this game, and you will really enjoy exploring them all if you are a bit curious like me. Achievements are also great. Overall, it's just a great game. But let's jump right to the second one. If you haven't seen, for me, my opinion is that only the Talos Principle, if you didn't own it already, would have been worth your money getting this Humble Monthly. No need for any of the others to be shown or discussed, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So the Master Plan was a game that I was really looking forward at some point. I thought it was interesting. It has mostly positive, very little reviews, but I was kind of like eyeballing it. Should I buy it? Should I not? It was €20, but I don't know. I guess I'm not gonna get it because I was really indecisive. Maybe if there would have been a demo, I would have considered maybe more. Metacritic is 68 out of 100. Got some prizes, but it is surprisingly good. I was playing it today, and it's some sort of real time with a pause, or time slow motion button, where you control individual characters, and you need to do heists. It's top-down view, as you can see here. It's a bit, I say, hard to use to control everything at once, and some people say it's more like a puzzle game than some action game or something, and it is. The levels are quite made out so that you can only really get them without making a mess in a certain specific way. But I enjoy it, although the difficulty curve is quite steep. I mean, it starts out pretty easy. You have a couple of easy missions, 3 or 4, and then it just ramps up. And if you just cannot keep up, you're going to lose your crew members, and then you lose money. You need to buy it again. It's basically easier to start over. But I mean, I like the graphics art, kind of like Polar, Starkey and Hutch kind of feel. It's really I like it. I like the progression of it. The sounds are good, but yeah, the only grief I would have is maybe with it being too much of micromanagement. Otherwise, it's good. I mean, it's definitely not something to be ashamed of having on your Steam, and I liked it. I like it a lot. I'm definitely going to go and play it a bit more, so you should as well. If you get the bundle, you shouldn't shy away from trying it. The next game is Mushroom 11. It's not bad. I knew of it, didn't really care for getting it. It has very positive 86%. It's fairly cheap. Though I didn't get that big of a discount, but got a better Metacritic score. I mean, it's innovative. That's what it is. Let's watch the video for those of you who are watching and not just listening to this as a podcast. But it's basically a platformer. And the first thing is that usually platformers you go from left to right, and this one you go from right to left. And the way you move your character, it is a mushroom or some sort of gas cloud. And as you delete it parts of it on one end, it basically grows on the rest. So you get to have an interesting kind of gameplay with that, and some bosses and all. But what I found is that after playing for it maybe an hour and a half, it gets really, really repetitive. It's just basically like I feel like I'm doing paint and just deleting with the deleting tool all the time to get that cloud going. And sometimes it's very finicky. It reminds me a bit of the goo. Is it no? I don't remember the name of the game with the goos where you basically create bridges. It reminds me of that because you need to be very finicky to get around the corner or do something right, and then you get to die. And the achievements are very challenging. I mean, for those of you who like it. But I got really, really stale quickly, to me. Some people might play with it forever, but it was tough for me to stick around with it. Yeah, the graphics are lovely, but they all seem a little bit the same. There are different mechanics coming up, different ways to learn how to move that cloud. Bosses are interesting, and it seems like for the price it is sufficient content. But then again, I mean, the others are so great in this bundle that Mushroom 11 kind of falls short. The other one is Grim Fandango Remastered, a game that I wanted to get because I've always heard Grim Fandango to be awesome, one of the greatest point and clicks out there, and I never ever tried it. So I can't tell you anything about it except that it's supposed to be comedy and it's supposed to be bloody good, and it has 89% positive reviews from the 1629 on Steam. It is currently very cheap at €3, but I have no clue what's in it, and it's probably for the best, otherwise I would be spoiling you, I guess. But I can't wait to get my hands on it and to have some time set aside to go through this, what is supposedly one of the best point and clicks out there. I mean, everyone says it. I've been wanting to try it forever, and then it got remastered, but I still didn't get to it. So let's hope it'll be awesome, just as awesome as everyone said. But anyway, I'm excited of getting it in the Humble Monthly. And that's the point. You want to get excited about what you get. You don't want to feel disappointed, right? And I didn't have that one. For the record, I didn't have also the Master Plan or Mushroom 11. But let's go to the fifth game, Spelunky. And that one I already had. It's very positive, 91% of 5,400 reviews. I mean, it's a bloody good game, I guess. But there are a few grieves I have with it. I mean, I bought it, but I liked the solo. I played it for quite a while. Then I got bored, because it's always the same and I keep dying. It's a bit too challenging. I mean, it's good to have a challenging game, but to me sometimes it frustrates me, and I just want to have a quick game and I'd rather play something else. But the reason I got Spelunky was to play it co-op, and that was my main interest. So first then I realized it was only local co-op, but I found a way back then to make it work as an online co-op. It's called Frozlunky. But right now even you can do it if you have an Nvidia card. You can do it with the beta of GeForce Experience and then just share. I'd assume it would work. Anyway, what disappointed me is that the co-op is focused on only one player. I can go up to 4 people, that's good, but then the camera is focused on one. And considering how challenging the game is, it's just not nice at all to have the camera focused on one player, because everyone else is going to be slightly off center, is going to have a limited view. And this game is all about knowing what's ahead, where are the where you can die, what can appear, what can come from somewhere, all those traps that can just almost one shoot you. It's not nice to have developed the co-op this way. So if you are planning on playing it solo, awesome, go ahead. I mean, for speed gaming and power plays, it's just awesome. And though if it would be for multiplayer, I would not recommend it. That's my opinion. I already got it, so felt kind of like, okay, well, wing and a miss, you know. But I'm so happy about the rest of the bundle that I don't really care. But for those who don't have it, it's always a good addition. It's always a good addition to the Steam to your Steam account to have a very positive game, and a game that is, I mean, it has achieved some kind of notoriety, kind of like how was it called, Super Meat Boy, all those independent games that actually made it out there. But in this sort of like art style and so on, I definitely prefer Steam Dig, and it's much easier and has different type of mechanics. I mean, if Spelunky is kind of there, you like it, but in the end you're not happy, go and check out Steam Dig. Anyway, last game, A Fistful of Gun. It says very positive, 196 reviews. It's super recent, came out in September of this year. It's not that expensive, but it has multiplayer, co-op, local co-op, single player. I mean, it has it all. I really don't know how good it is. I know it's a top-down shooter, and there is a story mode, there is multiplayer. It's supposedly very fast-paced. It's kind of pixel graphics art. It's the Western, but I mean, I'm looking forward to try it with a friend, co-op. But I guess this is the one game that is a bit esoteric of the bundle. There's always one like those, and so it's always kind of the game that, yeah, I'll try out, but I never feel really excited about it. And okay, I've come to live with that in Humble Monthly. There will always be a game that is underperforming expectation-wise. It might turn out to be very good, you know, but when I look at it, it's always the one that excites me the less. So I think this is the one, and considering how good the other one was, I mean, the rest of the bundle was, just go for it. It's not because there is one game where you are a bit doubting of it, what it's going to be. Yeah, try it. Might surprise you. That's what I'm going to do anyway. On the final note, I mean, this was the last game of the bundle, but there is a change in how Humble Bundle performs. We're going to go more into detail in the other special podcast, but it's basically that before last year, when you would get a first-time subscriber, would get one of the games of the previous bundle. In effect, for your first subscription, you would get 7 games, the 6 of the bundle you were subscribing to, plus 1 of the already 6 from the previous released bundle. So when they said that you couldn't get any more games of the released bundles, they were lying, because you could get the 1 if you had not subscribed ever. So if you were a first-time subscriber. So now that changed, you'll get only 6. But on the other hand, what they are doing now is basically they are telling us 1 month ahead what will be one of the 6 games. And you can subscribe to get that one early. Even subscribers can pay early than the usual 1 week before to get that game already. I mean, I could have done it, but I have so many games to play. And what's the game, by the way? It's Alien Isolation. I tried it. I mean, I don't own it, but so I'm gonna be glad to get it and to maybe even start it over, finish it. But it's good. It's good atmospheric game. It's good in its genre. It's good at what it does. It stresses you out. I wish there would be a quick save function, which there isn't, but I guess that adds to the tension. And the game is it's something I'm looking forward at some point. But now I'm in this bundle. Let's see next month. But yeah, the economics, I mean, to me it makes sense that they changed this. but I'll talk about the economics and why afterwards in the other podcast. But it just makes sense, and you're gonna have to live with it until I explain why it makes sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this view at the 6 games of the Humble Monthly. It's kind of a podcast format. Excuse me for that. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. We're going to be doing this on a monthly basis, at least I hope. Maybe even catch up on the ones from last year, November, December, the different bundles to see what those had to offer and what you might have missed. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not working for Humble Bundle. I'm not trying to sell this, but I really like it. And if you watch the other one regarding the discussion with about the economics, you will understand why it is good for everyone involved, Humble Bundle and the players, that we have a lot of subscribers. So, I mean, if you like these games, you definitely always end up winning, saving money by getting the Humble Monthly. And there is some part of your money who goes to the charity, which is always good. Yeah, come and join the train. Come. Anyway, this was Mad Lumi. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I will be back with some more for next bundle. See you. Bye.